Let me start with a simple question. When you see the sun, do you think of it as an object or as a force? A ball of burning gas 150 million kilometers away? Or the reason life exists on this planet at all? Because for ancient Egyptians, the sun wasn't just in the sky. The sun was reality itself. Today we're talking about Ra, the Egyptian sun god. And once again, I'm going to suggest something uncomfortable. Ra wasn't just a god. Ra was a model of reality. Let's talk about why. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine living in a world without electricity. No clocks, no calendars, no science. Your entire sense of time comes from one thing, the sun rising and the sun setting. That rhythm is order. For the ancient Egyptians, Ra wasn't worshipped because he was powerful. He was worshipped because everything depended on him. Crops, seasons, flood cycles of the Nile, even the idea of tomorrow. Without Ra, nothing continues. You probably know the basic story. Ra travels across the sky during the day in his solar boat. At night, he descends into the underworld, the Duat, where he battles chaos, personified as the serpent Apophis. Then, every morning, Ra is reborn. Sounds poetic, but let's pause. Is this really a story, or is it an ancient way of explaining a system? Day equals order. Night equals uncertainty. Dawn equals renewal. That's not mythology. That's process modeling. Different language, same function. Here's something most people misunderstand. Apophis is often described as evil, but in Egyptian thought, chaos wasn't moral. Chaos was entropy, unpredictability, the constant threat that order could collapse. And Ra didn't destroy chaos. He fought it every single night. That's important because it means the universe, in Egyptian belief, was never finished. Order had to be maintained, not assumed. If that sounds familiar, it should. That's how modern systems work. Let me draw a line here, and I want you to decide if it feels uncomfortable. In physics, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It transforms. Ra doesn't die. He transforms. Ra doesn't disappear at night. He changes state. Light to darkness to light again. Ancient myth or intuitive physics? I'm not saying Egyptians knew science. I am saying they understood patterns deeply, and patterns are the foundation of science. Here's something most people misunderstand. Apophis is often described as evil, but in Egyptian thought, chaos wasn't moral. Chaos was entropy, unpredictability, the constant threat that order could collapse. And Ra didn't destroy chaos. He fought it every single night. That's important because it means the universe, in Egyptian belief, was never finished. Order had to be maintained, not assumed. If that sounds familiar, it should. That's how modern systems work. Let me draw a line here, and I want you to decide if it feels uncomfortable. In physics, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It transforms. Ra doesn't die. He transforms. Ra doesn't disappear at night. He changes state. Light to darkness to light again. Ancient myth or intuitive physics? I'm not saying Egyptians knew science. I am saying they understood patterns deeply, and patterns are the foundation of science. Here's something else strange. Ra isn't just Ra. He's Capri in the morning, the rising sun. Ra at noon, full power. Adam in the evening, the setting sun. One God, three expressions. Sound familiar? Think about birth, life, death, beginning, peak, decline, creation, preservation, dissolution. This isn't theology. This is systems thinking. The Egyptians weren't multiplying gods. They were mapping states. Let's zoom out. Helios in Greece, Sol in Rome, Surya in Hindu tradition, Amaterasu in Japan. Different cultures, same central figure. Why? Because no civilization could ignore the sun. But here's the key difference. Most cultures turned the sun into a personality. Egypt turned the sun into a principle. Ra was less about emotion and more about cosmic responsibility. Let's ask the forbidden question. Did humans invent Ra to explain the sun? Or did the sun shape human consciousness so deeply that Ra was inevitable? Think about it. Your sleep cycles, your hormones, your agriculture, your concept of time, all synchronized to solar rhythm. So when Egyptians said Ra created humanity from his tears, maybe they weren't being poetic. Maybe they were acknowledging dependency. Now we have to talk about politics. Pharaohs claimed to be the sons of Ra, not priests, not prophets, living extensions of cosmic order. Why? Because if Ra maintains order in the universe and the pharaoh maintains order on Earth, then rebellion isn't just illegal, it's cosmic chaos. This is where mythology stops being innocent. Belief systems shape power structures, and Ra was the ultimate authorization. Over time, Ra merged with other gods, Ra Harakti, Amun-Ra. The system became more complex. More personal gods emerged, closer gods, intervening gods. Why? Because societies became more complex. Abstract principles don't answer personal suffering. People want gods who listen. Ra became distant, but he never disappeared. We no longer build temples to Ra, but we still organize our lives around the sun. Solar calendars, circadian rhythms, energy harvesting, climate systems. We just removed the symbolism. And here's the real twist. When you strip Ra of myth, what's left is pure structure. A reminder that ancient myths weren't primitive, they were compressed knowledge. Ra teaches us something unsettling. The most powerful forces don't speak. They don't judge, they don't promise salvation, they simply continue. So the next time you hear someone say, ancient people believed silly things, ask yourself, what truths did they see that we've renamed and forgotten? Because understanding Ra isn't about believing in gods, it's about recognizing how humans have always tried to make sense of reality. And once you see that, you're no longer just listening to mythology, you're thinking beyond the known.